Respected Shrotas, welcome you all. Gratitudes and congratulations. Last 1 week we have done the chanting of the Vedic Shanti Mantra Bhadram Karnevihi every day 5 times. This week, today is Monday, till next Sunday, we will be chanting the mantra Shanti Mantra Yaschandasam Rushabha. We'll do it for 5 times. Hardly it will take 6-7 minutes. It's a very good prayer come, pratigna come, prarthana come meditation. So here the Omkara Rupa Paramatma is addressed to. He is being praised and as well as prayed for. Meaning of one word and sentence is this. Om, O Lord, the Parabrahma, who is now Omkara, Om Shabda. Om Shabda itself is Paramatma. Yaha, he who is Chandasa Rishabhaha, best among the Vedas, best among the Veda mantras. Chandobhyaha Adhi Amrutat Sambhabhova. From the nectarine Vedas, he has come out. Essence of all Vedas, permeating all the Vedas. So, Yaha Chandasam Rishabhaha and Vishwarupa, who is of the form of the entire world. Yaschandasam Vrishabha Vishwarupaha Chandobhyaha Adi Amrutat Sambhavuva. So Chandasam Rishabha, best among all the Veda mantras, Vishwarupaha, who is of the form of all the forms and names, Chandobhyaha Adi Amrutat Sambhavuva, the one who is coming out of the entire Vedas as Amrita Swarupa essence, Saha, that Omkara, Indraha, that Lord, Ma Mujhe, to me, Medhaya Spurnotu. Endow me with Medas, the Prajna, the remembrance of the entire knowledge. And what will I do with that? Amrutasya Deva Dharanaha Bhuyasam. Ye Deva Bhuyasam. May become Dharanaha, the upholder of the Amrutasya, the Amruta Paramatma Swarup. So अमृतत्व का धारण करने वाला मैं बन जाऊं. So छंदसाम वृषभः विश्वरूपः छंदोभ्यः the अमृतात् संभवः. These are all the glorification of Omkar. Prayers to him are Samendro Medaya Spurnotu. May he bless me with the Medha Shakti. What that Medha Shakti should do? Amrutasya Dharana Bhuyasam. May I become the upholder, Dharana, of the Amrita Swarupa Brahma only all the time, Brahman. And to do all these sadhanas, to avoid all the obstacles, Shariram me Vicharshanam. May my body be full of energy without any problems, any hiccups, hindrances. Jihva me madhumatama. Let my tongue be always sweet. Karnabhyam bhuri vishruvam. Always let me through my ears listen only Paramatma Tattva. And O Omkara, you are Brahmanaha Koshaha Asa. Like the sheath of the sword or the sheath of the spectacles or specs or eyeglasses. You are Kosha of the Brahmadeva, Brahma, Parabrahma. So you are carefully holding the Brahman in you. If I quote you, you will reveal that Brahman to me. I know that. Brahmana Koshos. Yet, Medaya Pehitaha. You yourself are not available to me. O Omkara, for understanding you, for recognizing you, for doing your upasana, so that you reveal the Brahman to me. Such you yourself are hidden from me, my cognition. Why? Medaya. Because my vasana, my kosha, my buddhi, my mana, My senses all are busy in the medha, the outer laukika prajna, outer laukika knowledge, outer laukika information. Because I am so much involved with all my faculties in the information of the world that you are hidden from me, and within you the Brahman is there. The Brahman also is hidden from me. So I just want to get rid of all that outer medhas. I want to quote only you and make you reveal the Brahman to me. And all this is said in Upanishads, Shastras. My gurus are teaching that to me. I am listening, and whatever I am listening, that knowledge be retained, protected in me, and that knowledge protect me from falling into samsara. That knowledge protect me by revealing the truth to me. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let there be Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, Adidayvika Shantis. Very powerful mantra from Taittiriya Upanishad, chanted from 5 times. Om should be in the heart, the Rupa of the Om. Then he is the Akshara Brahma, Hiranyagarbha, Akshara Brahma. Both ways, taking that Om, keep this chanting. It's a very effective, powerful thing. Try करते हैं आज से. So 7 days, 7 fives, 35 times. This is our contemplation, prayer, as well as meditation, along with vocal chanting also. ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्याम्भोरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्याम्भोरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्याम्भोरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ यश्छन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणम् जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्याम्भोरिविश्रुवम् ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ यश्चन्दसां वृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया स्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मण कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः शान्तिः. Throughout the day also, keeping a number as target consciously with the meaning in the mind, we can chant this mantra, can be of great help and blessing. Simple common sense thought today is that when the knowledge is not gained, the whole life is burden. And when the effort of knowledge gaining is done, that also is a burden. When the knowledge is gained, when it is not used or implemented, that time also it is a burden. The knowledge itself is. Therefore, should we be always burdened by samsara, by not gaining the knowledge? Question 1. 2. Should we be ready to go through the heavy load burden while gaining the knowledge? Is it correct, required or not? Third, should the theoretical knowledge be there without helping us even an iota, becoming an added extra burden along with the burden of samsara? Or should we use that knowledge and unload ourselves of the burden of knowledge because it is utilized? Be clear about it. This fourth option is the best. Gain the knowledge and use the knowledge to unload the knowledge because it is practical, to unload the samsara because we are using the knowledge. Which knowledge? What knowledge? Just 2-3 thoughts. One, the knowledge that Atmanubhuti alone gives moksha from all bondages. Then try for the Atmanubhuti. Second, the knowledge that the Anatman alone is the cause for us not to have the Atmanubhuti. Knowledge. This is a knowledge. Therefore, use that knowledge. How? By rejecting the Anatman. 3. The whole Anatman is in the form of the world, including the Upadis. This is what is the obstacle for our Atmanubhuti and the moksha. This is the knowledge. Then implement that knowledge by rejecting the Anatman of the world as well as the Upadis. The knowledge is the entire Jagat of Rupanama, Anatma, the entire Anatma of the Pranamaya Panchakoshas. They are all there in our own mind, not anywhere outside. This is the Jnana. We have to gain this Jnana. Then implement that Jnanam. What is implementation? See to it that the mind is freed from the thoughts of the outer world, freed from the thoughts of the upadhi tadatmya, The mind is freed from the thoughts of desiring or suffering, all the desires and modifications of the upadis. This is the jnanam we have to gain, then implement it. And this is because of habits, change the habits, knowledge. The knowledge is what? It has become a relentless, thoughtless habit in our mind to have the thoughts of the Panchakoshas, the thoughts of the world, thoughts of indulging in the world for satisfying the Panchakoshas. Mind is habitually engaged in it. Recognize it. Have this knowledge. Implement it then. Be conscious of not allowing the mind to go through all that. Knowledge and practice. Next knowledge is that this is forcefully happening in us of mind having thoughts and engagements with the upadhi and with the world because of our so many lives gathered strong vasanas and strong ignorances. This is the knowledge. Then implement it. What is implementation? Replace continuously the ignorance by the knowledge. The two types of ignorances are not knowing the self, taking the not self as real. So let the knowledge become stronger that the not self is unreal. Let the knowledge become stronger that the self alone is real. Practice it. Second is the pressure of asanas, knowledge we are talking about. The pressure of asanas is purgated or exhausted by doing our duties and duties alone. This is the knowledge. Practice it. Pressure of knowledge is vasanas is removed by the grace of the Lord. Therefore, practically implement that knowledge to invoke the grace of the Lord. As we just know, Sa Medaya Pehitaha Shrutam Me Gopaya. All of them are practical doings of the knowledge that by the Lord's grace the pressure of vasanas gets reduced. The vasanas, because of which forcefully, habitually, we are living as the upadhis only, we are living with the anatma only. We are that is how bound and we are not able to focus on our real self for our moksha. The last but not the least knowledge is all this is vigorously, thoroughly, continuously, regularly can happen only when we have that type of company of the books, of the satsangas, of the people, of the uh, thoughts that are entertained. This is a jnana. Another jnanam is all that which disturbs, distracts this mood of our spiritual sadhana is a burden, is an enemy to us. Therefore, totally consciously at all levels, keeping away the dussanga, totally consciously at all levels, always being in the satsanga. This is the jnanam and this we have to implement. So, ajnanam is burden because it gives samsara. Jnanam is burden till it is not utilized. When the jnanam is utilized, there is a fulfillment that gained knowledge is used, and there is a fulfillment that that used knowledge is working. Working in what way? One side, reducing, removing the samsara, other side, revealing the self to us. In this way, alert at the intellectual level to gain the knowledge, to retain the knowledge. Again, the alertness to implement that knowledge. Then only the ignorance created all bandhanas can be eliminated. There is no other alternative. Om 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 ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ॐ यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ॐ निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् ॐ गुरुपुङ्गवपुङ्गवकेतनते समतामयतां न हि कोऽपि सुधीः शरणागतवत्सलतत्त्वनिधे भवशङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि ॐ परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्तब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिकप्रगत्यर्थं धर्मसंस्थापकानां निरन्तरदिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिसमस्तमन्दिराणाम् आश्रमाणां पुण्यदिव्य क्षेत्राणां विश्वविद्यालय भूभागादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञयाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रूणां शाश्वतरूपेण समूलनिर्मूलनार्थं भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य शाश्वतरूपेण वैदिक-हैन्दवसंस्कृतेः सुसम्प्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थं विश्वे मोक्षधर्मपुरुषार्थप्रतिष्ठाद्वारा विश्वसंरक्षणाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सर्वेषां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्म भगवद्देवता गुरुशास्त्रसत्सङ्गसाधना सेवा मातापितृदेशधर्म सनातनधर्म भक्तिसेवादीनां द्वारा श्रीकृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशङ्करभाष्यसमेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्नं मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ॐ नित्यानन्दनिराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं तन्नमाम्यहम् ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्तिः 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 Om Atadvitiyodhyayah. Friends, once just spend 20 seconds in remembering all the 13 Vyaktitvas of Lokasevaka, Dharmasthavaka, Viragi, Bhakta, Shishya, Mumukshu, Jignasu, Shrota, Sadhaka, Parishrami, Prerita, Prashanta, Gambhira, and Samskrita Bhasha Jnata with the help of Parabrahma Tattva, Ishvara Tattva, Jaganmatru Tattva, Devata Gana, Guru Gana, Shastra Gana. Now let us do the Parayanam of mantras 8 and 9 and 10 of this Dvitiyodhyaya for our Abhyasa. Om Trirunnatam Sthapya Samam Shariram Hrudindriyani Manasa Sanniveshya Brahmodupena Pratareta Vidvan Srotamsi Sarvani Bhayavahani Pranan Prapidyeha Sanyukta Cheshtaha क्षीणे प्राणे नासिकयोच्छ्वसित दुष्टाश्वयुक्तमिव वाहमेनं विद्वान् मनो धारयेता प्रमत्तः समेषु चौ शर्करावह्निवालुकौ विवर्जिते शब्दजलाश्रयादिभिः मनोनुकूलेन तु चक्षुपीडने गुहानिवाताश्रयणे प्रयोजयेत् Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Friends, chant the mantra number sixth ones. Om Agniryatradhimadhyate Vayuryatradhiruchyate Somo Yatratirichyate Tatra Sanjayate Manaha. Friends, the meaning of this beautiful mantra in simple words is that is what is said in all the Shastras. What is it is? There are only two alternatives for us. One alternative is that of the Bandha Marga, Bandhana Marga. Second alternative is that of the Moksha Marga. If you choose one, you have to give up the other. If you don't choose, by default, you are choosing the other one. So, if you have chosen the moksha marga, you have to definitely give up the bandhana marga. If you have not chosen the moksha marga, because the only other alternative is there, bandhana marga, by default we travel in that. This is what is said in all the Shastras. Correct? Second is what? This moksha marga, when we choose, all in all, we have to totally involve in it. What do you mean by all in all? Totally we have to involve in the moksha marga is our own efforts of knowing and walking the moksha marga. For that, taking the help of the Shastra. For that, taking the help of the Guru. For that, taking the help of the Savitha, the Paramatma. Paramatma's help we take by prarthana to him. Upasana and prarthana. When our upasanas are and prarthanas are perfect, wonderful, deep, intense, with full faith, that Paramatma only comes in the form of Sat Guru in our life. Not Guru, but Sat Guru. Then we take the help of the Sadguru. The Sadguru's help we take is only of the Sat Shastra Shravanam, in which Sadvastu is spoken along with its nature, along with its glory, along with its importance. Then that same Sadguru from that Sat Shastra indicates to us also the sadhana for that Sadvastu Prapti. Now that help of the Guru through the Shastra study, the knowledge about the Paramatma Tattva and the sadhana for Paramatma Tattva, only exclusively we have to involve in. This is the meaning of choosing this one alternative till the anubhuti comes. If that is not done, by default we are opting for the other and hope automatically by Maya, by the mind, by the vasanas, by the pull and push of the world, it just keeps on happening. The second alternative, if we are not compellingly sticking to the first alternative of spiritual sadhana, spiritual moksha. Just like if you don't come to the class, automatically, for very many reasons, thousand things are there to take you away into the world and worldliness, whether you or me. Just to say, I am not going to class. How many options are there? They're all called as our own mind. That's called as the entire world and its pukar or call. Or that is our own, the quiet and vasanas coming out, or the Maya working. चलो क्लास नहीं जा रहे हो ना, सो जाओ, चाय बना लो, टहलने चलो, या टीवी देखो, या पेपर पढ़ो, या किसी को फोन करो, या नाश्ता बनाओ, या मार्केट जाओ. See how many things non-spiritual happen through us when we don't choose this aspect of spirituality of the Tattva Shravana, this class. Every day our direct experience we are sharing. Just like after the class, because there is no class, after the class, because there is no commitment of ours for the Adhyatmika sadhana, all other things come, forcing us to feel them to be the commitments, feeling them to be important. Therefore, in how many things we keep on involving, till again the Guru Krupa, our little punya, reminds us that Are yaar sadhana karni. That also very, very superficial and vague. So the essence of this mantra, these two, three mantras is this. Right? The same thing is said in Ishavasya Upanishad as what? In the first three mantras it is said. What is said there, Ishavasya first three mantra mein? Even the towards end also. The first alternative is Ishavasya sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitaha magrudaha kasyasit dhanam. Just see all permeating Paramatma and see not anything as other than Paramatma. Therefore, seek not anything, be one with Paramatma. That's the meaning of this first mantra. If that you are not able to do, it's because you are all distractions and impurities. Remove those distractions and impurities by doing the various karmas, yajnas, upasanas. For removal of that impurities only. That's what is said in the second mantra in Ishavasya. What was said? Kuruvanneveha karmani jiji vishet shatagam samaha. To involve in the upasana karma, swadharma karma, for the antakarna shuddhi, so that we become qualified for Ishavasya midagam. Other than these two, there's no third alternative. In this way, if you live, the new vasanas are not added, the old ones go away, you become qualified for Ishavasya. That is the meaning of second line of second mantra. What is that? Evam tvainanyatetosti na karma lipyate nare. What is said? Na karma lipyate nare is said in this seventh mantra here. Tatra yonim kunamase nahi purtam akshipatu. Okay. Then, if these two are not done, one is meditating on the Isha to realize Him. Two, if you are not able to do that, the causes are impurities. To remove the impurities, if you are not engaged in the impurity removing karmas only, yajnas and upasanas, swadharmas, with the process actually, obviously, that offering every one of them to the Lord. ये सारे जो स्मृति ग्रंथों में बार बार आता है, तो श्रुति माता tells go and refer स्मृति, details I will not give. So the karma yoga of the Gita and all of that. In that way, Live, that is a second alternative for purification, so that you will be qualified for Ishavas. These are all the very divine path, the correct way of living life for moksha. Now in that Ishavasa Upanishad, if this thing is not done, one, purification, two, doing Ishavasa Vidagam Sarvam, what do you do? All that you do by which you destroy yourself. That is what said in third shloka. And such one is, instead of realizing his immortal self, he is only destroying himself. He is suicidal. Oh Atmaghati. कहा कि नहीं द थर्ड मंत्र व्हाट वाज सेड असूर्या नाम ते लोकाः अंधेन तमसावृताः तागंस्ते प्रेत्या विगच्छन्ति ये के च आत्महनो जनाः. So they will be reveling only. Those who are not doing these two sadhanas, by default, they are in Asurya Nama Loka. Andena Tamasa Avrata. Te Pretya Tan Gachanti. They will be involving only in the Karma Phala, Karma Marga, and having died, they only go to those respective worlds. Such people having born as human, not trying for moksha, but only doing those things by which they are bound in Janma Marana, they are called as Atmahano Janaha. They are committing suicide. What is said here in this language, in Shwethashwathara, that if you don't involve in the Adhyatmika sadhanas as said so far, you will be only involved in Agnir Yatra Vimadhyate, Vayur Yatra Dhirudhyate, Somo Yatra Tirichyate, Tatra Sanjayate. Manah means your mind is lost in samsara. Now, same thing said in Katha Upanishad as another way. So beautiful that in front of us always the two things are there offered. One is the Shreyo Marga, the other is Priyo Marga. I'm now precisely sharing, not explaining the entire episode there. Bhagavan says there, the one who is Dhira Purusha, he chooses the Shreyo Marga of Tattva Kamana, Tattva Icha, then Tattva Shravana from the Guru, Tattva Chintana and Tattva Anubhuti. The one who doesn't choose that, by default, he is choosing the other one, the Preyo Marga. And the Preyo Margi, he will only do those karmas and seek the karma phalas, to give which he will have to come under my sway. My means there Yamaraj is the Guru. So I have to punar vashmapadyate me, again and again they come under my sway. I have to kill them every time, because they are doing such karmas by which they have to get karma phala. For karma phala, I have to take them away from this body, therefore I have to kill. But those who have taken up the Shreyo Marga, they will be going beyond the karma phala, the upadhi tadatmya. They are one with the immortal self, therefore there is no death to them. I don't overpower them. See that? And among these two, O Nachiketa, you are Dhira Purusha, you have selected the Shreya Marga, you are the best. I myself could not do the same when I was at your age, and I wish and pray that every teacher and guru has the disciples like you. Twadrugno Bhuyat Nachiketa Prashta. And the theoretically said in all places is practically shown in Kathopanishad, wherein the Yamaraj, as if making Nachiketa seated on his vehicle, the buffalo, taking him into all the chambers of enjoyment and bhoga, offering him all of them a free enjoyment, free access. Then don't ask the Paramatma Tattva. What did Nachiketa do? You keep all of them with you. Tavaiva vahaha tava nritya gite. What do you want? Parastu me paraniyaha saha evaha. See that? Practically he rejected all. Practically he opted for this. Practically he was taught the Brahma Vidya with 42 techniques of meditation. And using all of them, the Nachiketa discovered the self. He gave that knowledge further to his own disciples wherever he came back onto the earth from the Mrityuloka or the Yamaloka. Isn't it? Now, same thing said in the Mundaka Upanishad as what? Ki plavahi ete adruda yajna rupaha. And there it is called apara vidya. All of that. Then the other alternative, the positive is tapara vidya yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. The whole aparavidya told in the beginning, उसी में ऋग्वेद यजुर्वेद सामवेद अथर्ववेद शिक्षा कल्प व्याकरणम निरुक्तम छंदम ज्योतिषम छंद, all that is apara. What is para? तत्र para या तद अक्षरम अधिगम्यते अथ para. And what is aksharam? Adreshyam, agrahyam, agotram, avarnam, achakshushrotram, tadapanipadam, nityam, vibhum, sarvagatam, susukshmam, tadavyayam, yad bhutayonim, paripashyanti dhiraha. Then how to achieve that? Whole Upanishad was guiding in the theoretical knowledge and in the contemplation and in the qualification and in the rejection of the nonsense. But if we are in the mood of Upanishadic study, by becoming that type of devotee of the disciple of the Upanishadic order, and that way intensely when we are taught by our acharyas, intensely only when we listen and study, all that knowledge becomes ours. And that has to be used, otherwise it's a burden. As we saw in our common sense thought. Same thing said in Bhagavad Gita in the 7th chapter as Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. In the 13th chapter as the Prakriti, the other side, Purusha is said. Kshetra that side, Kshetragna this side. Jnanam that side, Neyam this side. Same thing said in Gita 14th chapter as the three guna sthiti and the gunatita sthiti. Same is said in the 15th chapter as Ksharakshara Purusha, on the other side, the Uttama Purusha. You want to opt Uttama Purusha, you are liberated. If you are remaining as Akshara Purusha, that is Jiva, identified with Akshara Purusha, that is Prakriti, you are in bondage. Same is said in the 16th chapter as the Daivi Sampada you gain, qualify yourself for the moksha. If not, with the Asura Sampada, will be bound only in the world. Same is said in the 17th chapter and half of the 18th chapter that there are the Trigunas and the Rajotama Guna will bind you to the world and worldliness. The Sattva Guna, if you have, it will take you to the Tattva. Therefore, involve in all the things in the Sattvic way. Whether it is Ahara, whether it is Yajna, whether it is Tapasya, whether it is Dhanam, whether it is Jnanam, whether it is Karma, whether it is Kartha, whether it is Tyagam, whether it is Buddhi, whether it is Dhruti, whether it is Sukham. 11 things are told. They can be done Sattvic way and Tamasic way, Rajasic. Rajasic, Tamasic will bind you, Sattvic will liberate you. So, total thought is this one, ki consciously pray to Savitha. Consciously pray to the Adhisthana Devatas. Become conscious and aware of entire Upadhis. Use these Upadhis consciously only for the Paramatma Anveshana. Then you are in the safest zone. Vedic Kala, it was clear, direct for the people to understand. In the Pauranika Kala, they wanted some alambana. Therefore, the alambanas are given in the form of various devatas and their upasanas, their bhajana, their kirtana, their nama sankirtana. All of them are what? To engage our upadhis towards the Paramatma Tattva so that we are not going in the other direction of self bondage. All the not self, though it is unreal, gathers reality and binds us if we attend to that. Only our attending to that gives it reality and power to bind us. तो उस तरफ जाओ ही मत. Isn't it? In Mandukya it is said as the three padas of the Atman and the Chatushpada is the Turiyatma. Isn't it? So in the Taittiriya Upanishad it is said as Do you want to live life at the Panchakosha level or you want to go beyond it? Them. Panchakosha level, nothing but Janma Marana bondage. Atita level, you realize your own Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Sthiti. There you are liberated. Again, Gurus give us Jnanam, Shastras give us Jnanam, they also give us the freedom. When we deeply, intensely gain that Jnanam, then that freedom we rightly utilize in choosing to realize the self through sadhana. If the jnanam is not stronger, deeper, clearer, comprehensive, then with that superficial knowledge, we will not change to become a sadhaka from samsari. We continue being samsari. अब हम वही कर रहे हैं. ज्ञान दृढ़ नहीं है इसलिए दिन भर संसारी ही है. तो ज्ञान को दृढ़ बनाओ तो साधक बन सकते हैं. And how to make the jnanam dृढ़? Not only being regular to the classes, but it should be followed by throughout the day study, contemplation to such an extent that the delusion gone away. What's the delusion? That there is something other than Paramatma which I can gain. That itself is delusion. There is nothing other than Paramatma to be gained. And Paramatma is I am already. I have to just realize it. So these mantras have this beautiful guidance given to us. Let us be available to the Gurus and the Shastra so that they pour that knowledge into our hearts. And let us open our hearts and receive that knowledge. Then allow that knowledge to percolate through all our personality layers throughout the day and express as our life lived only as sadhaka, doing the sadhana for the siddhi or sadhya of Paramatma Prapti. See, from the first mantra onwards, in this second chapter, we are that's how told to invoke the Krupa, Savitha and the Devatas, and with that use the faculties only to be turned towards Paramatma. So the buddhi is contemplating, the mind is desiring, the senses, the eyes are watching the mantras, the mouth is chanting the mantras, the ears are listening to the mantras. जो उपाधियों का जरूरत है वो सारे यही काम कर रहे हैं दिन भर. बाकी सारा माया है. Even if it is tempting, even if it is very attractive, we should not go towards it. And the spiritual sadhana, even it becomes boring, even it becomes heavier, yet we have to do that because that's what's going to liberate us. This Adhyatmikata agre vishamiva pariname amrutam. In the beginning, it appears to be as painful poison, like that of poison only. But when you continue, that is what gives us the Amruta Ananda. Yattadagre Vishamiva Pariname Amrutopamam Tat Sukham Satvikam Proktam Atma Buddhi Prasadajam. What about the other things? Yadagre cha anubande cha sukham mohanam atmanaha nidralasya paramadottam tatta tamasa sukham. What is Rajasika? Vishaya Indriya Sanyogat yat tad agre Amruta Upamam but Pariname Vishamiva Tat Sukham Rajasam. All are very clearly told in our Shastras. We are not available to that. बाकी जो कुछ भी अभी तक किया वो छोड़ो. Revel in study of all Shastras, grasping the knowledge and using that knowledge to realize self. For all this to happen, protect your faculties by various upasanas. Protect your faculties by not allowing them to go in the destructive channels of the world and worldliness. That's what we have to do. Right? Now, what was the mantra? Agnir yatra bhimatyate, vayur yatra dhirudhyate, somo yatra tirichyate, tatra sanjayate manaha. The mind and faculties, by putting in Paramatma, they have to be dissolved in the experience of Paramatma. A mind and faculties, if they are not willingly, choicefully put in Paramatma, by default, the mind and intellect, sense organs or faculties will be alive only by being the worldly, only by grazing the world and worldliness. Tatra manaha sanjayate means your mind, its sankalpas, your mind and its desires, your mind or intellect and its plannings, and the following of the plannings and what you call orders of the intellect mind, the senses, all of them will be engaged in what? Yagna karma, upasana karma, uchav, the karma phalas of the laukika nature, not paramarthi. That's the meaning of this shloka. Positively said. Somebody will do the yajna karma where the agni is prajvalita, where the vayu is made to make sound, where the somarasas are made. That means what? He is spiritual only. He is doing yajna kanda, karma kanda of the Vedas, but only for the outer worldly gains. People even fall from that level by their own choice. They even take up the adharma karma, the papa karma, non-upasana karma, non-yajna karma, for the gaining of the worldly pleasures. All that karmas are called papa, because of which they will be given the narakadi dukkha. That's what you see the whole world. People, dishonesty, corruption, none of them are forgotten. Every one of them are noted. Accordingly, they will be punished. Nobody is spared. Some are in honest means, working. They get those monies and that they are enjoying the worldly pleasures. Nothing wrong, bad in that, but there is zero spirituality in them. There are some people doing the dana karma, social activities, seva karmas, even the upasanas, even the yajnas, but in their mind, the desire is for the world and worldliness. Certainly, they are going to have greater and definitely higher lives in the next life materialistically. They'll be more richer, more healthy, more long living, lot of popularity, name and fame. Maja maja aega unko. But there is no moksha in them. And those who are doing yajna upasanas, those who are doing all their dharma karma, only for one purpose of antakarna shuddhi, they are getting the antakarna shuddhi. And those who have become shuddha in antakarna, they are going to the Guru, listening to the Vedanta. Those who are listening, they are trying to understand. Those who have understood, they are doing the inner sadhanas of nididhyasanam. Those who are doing it in that, they are slowly getting out of the तादात्म्य विद्या अनात्मा, getting into the तादात्म्य विद्या आत्मा. और जिनका हो चुका है, they are in the experience of the self, thus they are liberated from the not self. This is how the crystal clear understanding should be in our heart, and we have to live life with that maturity of following what we have understood, grasped from the teachings of our Gurus, Acharyas, and the Shastras. So, Agniryatra Vayur Somo Yatra Tirichyate, Tatra Sanjayate Manaha. Means the people will make big programs, invite hundreds of people, and with the help of them, with all the enthusiasm and energy, they do such big upasanas and yajnas where the Agni Prajwalanas are done in big way. 108 Kundwala Yajna. Then Vayur Yatra Dhirudhyate. Then the Mantrocharana is so vigorously done. Somo Yatra Atirichyate. So much of the Naivedyas, 56 भोग, 108 भोग, 324 भोग भगवान को चढ़ाते जाएंगे. Big way gala. Thousands and thousands join those big programs. But what is the sankalpa? Is it for Paramatma Prapti or is it to only get Iha or Paraloka Sukha Bhoga? Now remember, all this is by our choice and by our prayers to the Devatas that we are becoming materialistic. And we become spiritual also again by our choice and by prayer to Ishvara. That is what is said in the 5 mantras. That pray to the Savitha, pray to all the Devatas, that the mind and all our faculties are only for Tattvaya, only for Atmane, only for Mokshaya. And in that yajna, if that main organizers do this sankalpa, that through all these yajnas, Our antakarana should become pure with the purified heart. Let all of us meditate and realize the self. Then all those 10,000 people gathered will become tattva sadhakas, isn't it? But if that Yajaman announces that way or the organizer कि हम सब ये अंतकरण शुद्धि इसके द्वारा आत्म प्राप्ति के लिए यज्ञ कर रहे हैं, he alone will remain, nobody will come. So therefore, you'll have to make announcement and publicities and pamphlets and banners. When these yajnas are done, your problems will go away, your difficulties will go away. You will get lot of money, lot of wealth, lot of sukha bhoga. Up to gather the people, you have to do this publicity. And seeing that people will come. And definitely the yajna is successful. And the people become materialistically rich. But in the bargain, the true spirituality is gone. And once the taste of the worldly bhoga comes, that doesn't go. It wants to repeat. But you can't do the yajna every time to invoke the grace, which is very tough. Therefore, what do? We adopt the slowly, the unrighteous means to gain the same bhogas which we were gaining earlier through the upasanas. जल्दी जल्दी चाहिए हमको, ज्यादा चाहिए हमको, कम मेहनत से चाहिए हमको. Then go by the wrong means. Then that takes us to the Narakadi Loka. That makes us fall from the human level to the animal, etc. level. So that warning here, the Shruti Mata is giving. If you don't yourself opt for Paramatma Prapti and if you don't pray to the Savitha and the Devatas for only the Paramatma Prapti, by default, your mind will be engaged only in the Yajnayagadi, Sakama Karma for the Bhoga. And in that Yajnayaga, obviously, you are addressing or you are offering oblations to that Savitha or any of those Devatas. Then whatever you have asked for, they give you that only. ये तामां प्रपद्यन्ते तान् तथा एव भजामि. Then you become worldly and you tempt others also to become worldly. And the worldliness and the bhogas are so poisonous, terrible, as we just now said, they have the tendency wanting to be repeated. And in the bargain, all the dharma, all the satkarma, everything gets destroyed. Those are called Rakshasas. Who are the Rakshasa? For the mere materialistic outer bhoga, for their sense organs, those who destroy the dharma, those who adopt the dharma papa means by which they destroy others also in Prakriti, they are called Rakshasas. In the earlier time, दो चार दस बारह होते थे. आजकल everybody. Whoever is materialistic, he is Rakshas. जो भी भौतिकवादी है सब राक्षस है, मोटे छोटे बस उसमें फर्क है. This is how you have to define, otherwise you will not withdraw from it. Only the one who is seeking Paramatma, he is Manushya and he is Sadhaka. Not seeking Paramatma, he is not Manushya, because as a Manushya, you can seek Paramatma. For that only we are given Manabuddhi. We are not seeking, then you are not Manushya. और मनुष्य नहीं है तो पशु है. और पशु की तरह हम सिंपली बाई नेचर नहीं जी रहे ना. We are using our mind, intellect for all destructive purposes, for our selfishness. They are called as Rakshas. देखो राक्षस को ज्ञान होता है. राक्षस लोग तपस्या करते हैं. राक्षसों को बहुत शक्ति होता है. They are all like opposition party. But what for they use it? For their own personal thing. To destroy Sanatana Dharma, to destroy the nation. विचित्र है कि नहीं. इस आराम को समझना है. समझ के बाद where do we stand? Ultimately, we have to think about ourselves, focus about ourselves. That where is my mind? What are my desires? What are my plannings? What are the activities? Whole day in what I am spending? What are the consequences of it in my life and in the life of totality with my presence? This is called true Adhyatmikata. Oh, my mind is always desiring Artha Kama. My whole day's activities are only engaged in gaining the artha and converting into kama and becoming bhogi, having bhoga. Oh, this is how the vasanas are strengthened. This is how the jiva bhava is strengthened. This is how the upadita adhatma is strengthened. This is how we become worldly. This is how we see the world as bhoga vastu. This is how we, destroy the world for our own selfishness. And all these are noted and we are punished. Oh, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. I should not be a bhogi. I should be yogi. I should not be lavish and licentious at the senses level. I have to control them. I should not be arthi and kami in our mind at a level. I must be dharmi and mokshi or moksharthi. So this is how one has to think for oneself, change oneself, go towards the truth. Go in the Shreya Marga, not the Priya Marga. Go for the Uttama Purusha, not Ksharakshara Purusha. Go for the Prakriti Atita Paramatma, not Parapara Prakriti. Go towards Gunatita Sthiti, don't get lost in the three gunas. This is how we have to tell to ourselves. We have to inform ourselves, we have to inspire ourselves, we have to empower ourselves, we have to be strict with ourselves, we have to plan very well for ourselves, we have to execute our plans systematically, consciously. Those who are knowing all that, doing this way, they are nearing to the self and realization. Those who feel it is so tiring, exhausting, so many details, I can't do that, then they become worldly. Forgetting that in the world and being worldly also, it is not easy. You have to study, you have to search for your job, you have to do it every day, month, and you have to get salary, then you don't know how to spend it. इसमें थोड़ी आसानी है, ये भी मुश्किल है. Then the wife or the husband or children or in-laws or outlaws and maintain those relations, then succumbing to their ego and nonsense. ये आसान थोड़ी है. Killing your own self and self-esteem and self-respect. वो भी कोई आसान नहीं है. प्रेम मार्ग आसान नहीं है वो भी मुश्किल है. एंड इट इज ओनली डिस्ट्रॉइंग. क्या बैठे रहो घर में अपने आप पैसे आते हैं क्या? यू हैव टू डू नौकरी. एंड नौकरी से तुरंत ज्यादा पैसे नहीं आते. यू हैव टू डू हेरा फेरी ओनली. Some exclusive cases, they're highly qualified and earlier पुण्य they have, whatever they touch it becomes gold. But बाकी सब कम से कम समय में ज्यादा चाहिए, तो they have to do all हेरा फेरी. And will it not have its consequence? अब देखो, in spiritual marga there is only kashta. There is no other problems. In other worldly marga, along with kashta, at every step there are chances to do wrong things and to get caught up in the vicious circles of karma, karma phala and all of that. और वो फंसते जाते हैं, हम स्लिप होते ही जाते हैं. एक कष्ट है बट सब बढ़िया है. Coming to class is kashta, no doubt. But in this whole 1 hour class, other than the Paramatma, information and inspiration, is there anything binding we are discussing? Doing upasana is kashta. But in that 1 hour, are we not engaged in tuning to Paramatma? Doing swadhyaya, dhyana is kashta. But is it not purifying us? मुश्किल है इसमें कष्ट, लेकिन पॉजिटिव है. That's why the Lord on the top of temple or the hill of mountain, walking towards that Lord, climbing the mountain is very kashta. But mind you, in that process, you are nearing to the most divine Paramatma. And not climbing the temple and going to the world, Lord, being on the ground also is kashta. Because you have to negotiate with the traffic, with the pollution, with the marketplaces, with your desires and all. इधर भी वही कष्ट. ये ज्यादा कष्ट है actually. This is how each one has to think for himself. Don't take it as sentiment, emotion. Somebody is telling me, why should I listen to him? Somebody is telling me, why should I understand? Why should I accept? If somebody is telling, you will never listen. You tell yourself. It is I am telling myself. You tell yourself, not I am telling you. If I tell you, दो तरह के नुकसान है. एक नुकसान आपको बताते बताते मैं प्रैक्टिस नहीं कर रहा हूँ. दूसरा, आप तो सुनोगे ही नहीं क्योंकि मैं बोल रहा हूँ. जब मैं अपने आप को बोलता हूं तो आपको बोलने का मीनिंगलेस जॉब मैंने छोड़ दिया और मैं आपको बता रहा हूं तो मैं कर सकता हूं. दोनों तरह के फायदे हैं. सो टेल टू योर सेल्फ, नोबडी इज टेलिंग यू. गुरु, गॉड, परमात्मा, श्रुति माता is only informing. Take that information and tell yourself. Think for yourself. Where the life is spent, what for it has to be spent. Okay, now of this mantra, as we have seen one meaning, Bhagavan Adi Shankara started giving us the most beautiful second meaning. Here we were doing the Bhashyam, half of it we saw. The second half is very important and crucial. Okay, it needs calm and quiet and peaceful listening and grasping. Again, I'll take you to up to that level. We'll discuss the topic tomorrow only. He says कि अग्निर्यत्राभिमथ्यते इति अत्र अपरा व्याख्या. To this mantra, Agnir-yatra-abhimadhyate, Vayu-yatra-dhirudyate, Somo-yatra-tirichyate. To this mantra, Aparavakya. There is another Vyakya, commentary also possible, meaning also possible. Okay. In that second meaning, be at it. Tatra Sanjayate Manaha means, Tatra means Tasmin Brahmani. Sanjayate Mana is mind is fully engaged. In that pure Brahman of this nature, the mind gets fully engaged, engrossed, dissolved in the realization of the self. Which mind, whose mind, when, what is to be done? When what is to be done is these first three lines. What are the first three lines? Agnir yatra abhimatyate means do the Agni Mathana. Here the Agni Mathana is through the Vedanta Shravana Ityadi, Manana Ityadi, Churning Ityadi. Agni is Paramatma. Get convinced about him when you do that. Second, Vayu Yatra Dhirudhyate is all the pranayama se lekar antakarana shuddhi wale, all the sadhanas are integrated. Then Somo Yatradi Richyate is doing the Yajna Aga again for many, many lives. With these three, when the Antakarana becomes Shuddha, that time, that Antakarana or the mind, Tatra here is Tasmin Paramatmani Samjayate. Engages in that. So in this way, he gives the meaning for the second Vyakhyanam for the same mantra that we have to go through the Bhashya. Very, very powerful, very, very required. That way, you see, Shwethashwathara Upanishad, nobody takes it. Many of them think that this Bhashya is not even written by Adi Shankara on this. Because in this, so many Puranas, Itihasas are quoted. And they think Shankara Bhagavan quotes only Upanishads. So many Puranas means somebody else might have commented, and to make it popular, he just attributed it to Adi Shankara's Bhashya. But when you study it, see the details, see the clarities, how much we are getting. And what is doubt problem? If Bhagavan Shankara quotes Puranas, he is Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam. He is Alayam Aboda, not only Shruti, Smriti and Purana also. And Shruti, Smriti, Purana, Itihasa, all of them have Ekavakyata. In whatever the way they are teaching, the purpose of all of them is teachings, and the teaching is only moksha. केवल आत्मानुभव से मोक्ष के लिए ही श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास इत्यादि प्रवर्तन करते हैं और दे आर एग्जिस्टिंग. I too have no doubt. This is Bhagavan Shankara's Bhashya. As we saw, 8 Upanishads are over, 10th and 11 are bigger ones. So maybe many people may not study. So this ninth one, when they take up, let them have all the details. That is why exhaustively he gave the Bhashyam, and to facilitate him to give the exhaustive Bhashyam, the Upanishad itself, the Shruti Mata herself, in the form of Shwethashwathara Upanishad is so convenient to Bhagavan Shankara to give all these detailed commentaries. Majdar. So tomorrow we'll see that second meaning. After that, in the 7th mantra, again guidance. Then 8th, 9th, 10th May, the prana importance will be told. Yoga importance will be told, which generally the Advaita Vedantins reject. And because of so much of yoga and upasana that are mentioned in this Upanishad, that also becomes a reason for them not to study this Upanishad. And they are serious, so they study other Upanishads. Through them, they get moksha. There's nothing wrong. The only one feeling is they feel Shwethashwathara is not required or not authentic. But you and I are seeing how beautiful it is. And in the Upanishadic mantra, all of them are there. Ishakena Kata Prashna Mundamandukya Taitiri Aitareya Shvetashvatara Chandogya Pradaranyakaha. These are the 12 month Upanishad, 11 Upanishads. 10 हो गया. ईशकेन कट प्रश्न मुंड मांडूक्य तैत्तरीय ऐतरेय श्वेताश्वतर is 9th, Chandogya 10, Bradharanyaka 11, Kaivalya is 12, but further there is no Bhashyam. Let us invoke Guru Krupa, Shastra Krupa, Ishvara Krupa, Sakala Devata Krupa, Sakala Jiva Krupa. That for no reason we are distracted from this path. For every reason and possibility, may all we be tuned only to this path and this goal of Paramatma. Om, 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Paramalashibhyo Parabrahmane Shruti MAATRE Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu Namaha. Come for Gita study.